Let's just say this and let's go straight to the point. Anyone can get married. It's just about lowering the bar. Anybody can go through dating, engagement, and get married. If you set your standards low enough, you can get married tomorrow. Anybody can get married. If this is how marriage is done, then marriage can bring a lot of pain and hurt. Yes. If you don't care, you just open your doors and you lower your standard. You can just get married. You don't want to know about the people or what they have to offer. You can just get married. Marriage, when done wrong, can do a tremendous hurt. A tremendous hurt to the people involved, a tremendous hurt to the people around them, and a tremendous hurt even to the church. So, that is why you need to understand what marriage is. Marriage is a mission. And the mission of marriage is two becoming one. One in everything, one in thinking, one in how you face your challenges. And the perfect example of marriage is what we have in the book of Ephesians chapter 5. Jesus is the husband to the church, and the wife is the bride of Christ. The relationship between the church and Christ is the relationship that will ensure that your marriage does not break up. You open the social media today and people are talking about marriage breaking up. You see a celebrity getting married today and tomorrow they have divorced. What is the cause? The cause is listening to people. Let me tell you, marriage that we are talking about is an institution that was created by God. And God created Adam and created Eve. First, He created Adam. He saw that he was alone. He caused him to sleep. Then He conducted a surgical operation on him by removing one of his ribs and using it to form a woman. Because He saw that Adam was alone. Adam was lonely. Adam needed a companion. So marriage is companionship. And Eve came to help Adam. It's the same concept today. It's the same concept. The church submits to Christ. Christ is the lawmaker to the church. Christ is the head of the church. Christ takes decision for the church. Christ submits to the church submits to Christ. That is the perfect picture of a marriage. So if you don't have this, if you don't practice this, if you don't know this, beloved, your marriage is heading to a crash. And that is why I'm here today to let you know that when the Bible is talking about church members submitting to each other or talking about submitting to one another, we do the submission because of love. Today, the Bible said in a marriage, because a ship must have a captain. And you cannot have two captains in the same boat. And the Lord has said that the man is the head of the family. And the Bible has said that the man should love his wife as his own flesh. And that the woman should submit to her own husband. By submitting to her husband, it doesn't mean you are inferior. Submitting to your husband doesn't make you inferior. But today we prefer to listen to the world. The world are the people who tell you that what a man can do, a woman can do it even better. The world are the people that encourages you to start rubbing shoulder with your husband, to start competing. Marriage is not a competition. Marriage is a union. It's not a business where you have partners. It's a union where two people have decided to become one. So, my dearly beloved, you must become one. See things as one. Fight your obstacles as one. Defeat every obstacle that comes to you as one. Working together. The woman complements the man. They are not two different people. They are one person. It's just like we have two eyes today. Your right eye sees more of the right part of an object, and your left eye sees more of the left part of an object. But when you are looking at focusing at an object, you are seeing one object. That is how it is. The man and the wife working together like the left eye and the right eye to see the object, to see the challenge, to see the problem, to conquer, to succeed. So they are not competing, they are complementing each other. God understands why He made it like that. And when it comes to decision making, the wife should submit. Of course, the wife can have a better idea, the wife can be more educated, but the wife is like the special advisor, gives her advice to the husband. The husband may not take it, but if he didn't take it today and his own way of doing things failed him, he tried it tomorrow and it failed him, he'll be forced to realize that his wife has better ideas. So when a woman does what she's supposed to do, it's not out of inferiority. It's not that she's inferior, but she's doing it because that is what is expected of the church. So perfect marriage is that marriage between Christ and his church. And that is what we are emulating. And that should be the motivating factor. And that you're a husband, the Bible said you should love your wife as your own flesh, because everybody wants to eat good food. Everybody wants to nourish his body. So you should see your wife like that. You should see, you should provide for family. Now, don't get me wrong. Marriages are unique. Marriages are unique. Several things. The marriage I have might not be the one you have. There are different factors. But the thing is, we understand that we are there complementing each other. We are not competing. We are complementing each other. So, if you go to the book of Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22 to 24, it says, Wife, submit to your own husbands as to the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, his body, and is himself his Savior. Now, as the church submits to Christ, so also wives should submit in everything to their husband. It may look weird, it may look somehow, you may not like it, but marriage was created by God. And for every product you are going to get on the market, there's a manual. The producer of the product doesn't force you to use his manual, but there's a condition attached. If you use the manual, there is going to be durability. The product is going to last for you, but it's your choice whether you want to use the manual or not. The producer is not going to force you to use his manual. You have bought the product belongs to you. You are married, is your marriage. God created the institution called marriage, and God has a manual for that marriage to work, for the marriage to last. And the manual is what I'm reading to you in Ephesians chapter 5. This is the manual of a marriage that will last, a marriage that will work. So many people are going up and down looking for solutions to issues, marital issues that they're having. The solutions is here. The solutions is in Ephesians chapter 5. Read all through. That's where you find the rules and the regulation. The whole picture of marriage between Christ and the church. If you follow it, that is how, because you are now following the manual, your marriage is going to last. So I will advise you to go home and read this particular place very well and try to put your marriage in that picture. Trying to, because this is the foundation of marriage. He said, because Christ is the head of the church. Christ is the head of the church. So the man is the head of the woman. It doesn't mean that women are inferior, no. But the man will carry the wife along in the decision for the betterment of the family. But he will do his own work, and God created us to do things differently. What a woman can do, that's what God created a woman to do. What a man can do, that's what God created a man to do. So today I'm giving you the secret of a successful marriage. When a wife does what she's supposed to do, she's not doing it out of fear, she's not doing it out of inferiority, she's doing it because Christ is the head of the church. All right? That should, and that should give her proper motivation to do what she's doing to submit to the husband. In a proper functioning home, a wife submits to the husband. And if you are a wife and you are such a wife that submits to a husband, oh, your marriage is going to be perfect because your husband is going to love you too. So that is the only instruction that the wife gets. Let me make it clear to you that in this place, this Bible, the wife gets 55 words of admonition from Paul. Sorry, 52 words of admonition from Paul. And the husband gets over 180, over 180 words of admonition. Look at Ephesians chapter 5, 25 to 27. It says, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, that he might sanctify her, having cleansed her by the washing of water with the word, so that he might present the church to himself in splendor, without spot or wrinkle or any such thing, that she might be holy and without blemish. This is all about Christ's love for the church. Christ did all this to establish and purchase the church. Christ loved his creation so much that even on our very worst day in history, when we are yelling, crucify him, he still died for us. That's the comparison between marriage and Christ. We are yelling, crucify him, crucify him. He didn't wait for us to repent. He still died for us. Even on our very worst day, even on your wife's or your husband's very worst day, you should be willing to love her no matter what. Because she's your wife, because she's part of you, because she's your flesh, the flesh of your flesh and the bone of your bone. Does your relationship with your wife look like that? Look like that of Christ and the church? Do you sanctify her? To sanctify means to separate from profane things and dedicate to God. To separate from profane things and dedicate to God. So, have you ever thought about that? You are supposed to help your wife to be holy and sanctified as a husband. In the same way, husbands should love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. For no one ever hated his own flesh, but nourishes and cherishes it, just as Christ does the church, because we are members of his body. Do you nourish and cherish your wife? Are you helping your wife grow to be a faithful Christian? How? What does it look like when you keep something warm? That's the imagery here. You will cherish, keep her spiritually warm. You love her so much, you will do anything for her well-being. Physical, of course, but mainly spiritual. So, you protect your wife through the way you talk to her, the way you pray for her, the way you interact with her. Therefore, if you read verse 31 of Ephesians chapter 5, it says, therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and hold fast to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. When it comes down to it, a marriage is about becoming one and acting that way. Treating your wife as one flesh. All right? You can go ahead and read verse 32 and verse 33. This mystery is profound. And I'm saying that it refers to Christ and the church. Mystery is a hidden purpose. When you see the word mystery, it's a hidden purpose. The Greek meaning, a hidden purpose. The hidden purpose is profound. The fact that marriage was started in Genesis chapter 2, verse 24, the hidden purpose in man and woman becoming one flesh is that it's supposed to show the relationship between Christ and the church. Once you picture your marriage like that of Christ and the church, I'm telling you, that marriage is not going to break up. However, let each one of you love his wife as in himself, and let the wife seize that she respects the husband. The Bible is telling the man to love the wife, and the wife that she should respect her husband. This is the rules and the regulation of a successful marriage, a marriage in action. Okay? You don't just sit down one place and stare at your wife or look at your wife. No. Marriage, like I said, is a mission. Marriage is meant to be a mission. What is that mission? Marriage is about becoming a picture of Christ and the church. Marriage is also about the pursuit of Christ in his purpose in the world. Marriage is a team, it's a union. You will only be as strong in a marriage as your mutual commitment to the mission. All right. So we have a lot of examples in the Bible, like Aquila and Priscilla and other things. But I'm letting you know that you want to have a successful marriage, you picture the marriage between Jesus Christ and his church. Please, you can comment here or share this video. Click on the like button, comment, and share. I will continue after a short break.